this is Ian. Welcome to the deck profile video of the top 4 deck list for Premium California Springfest. This is my Riviere deck list. It took me about 3 years to make, but let's get started and we'll show you what they did with the deck. So for grade 3s, we have 4 copies of Top Idol Riviere. On place counter plus 1, discard 1 to draw 2. So she is your main right target in any situation, and yeah, like your deck basically cannot function without her as your vanguard. We also run 3 copies of Animated Rudy Marijan. From your hand, discard if you have a vanguard with Top Idol to grab Riviere to your hand and draw a card, but you can choose any card in your hand and you drop some, but if you choose a non-Riviere, it goes to your soul. That's just the grade 3s. So the grade 2s, we run 1 copy of the old Riviere. This is your main right target for your superior right, which is with discard Maturity Talent Selena, which we run at 3 copies. But since we can't just have 1 super idol, we run 2 of the V versions of it. We run 3 copies of Sporty Idol Enos, our top idol searcher. When placed, counter plus 1, search your deck for up to 1 card Riviere, and with the same name and grade as your vanguard, put into your hand, shuffle your deck. Soul plus 1 to give her and a Riviere vanguard plus 10. 2 copies of Lizalot. Lizalot is a very good staple in every single Bermuda deck, but sometimes you can brick with her, sometimes you don't, but she's very good with Turbo. Last 1 copy Courageous Beauty Syria. Syria's interesting, to say the least, because top 3 to grab anything, so you can grab like Perfect Guard and whatnot. She's interesting. Then, grade 1s. We run 2 copies of Sparkling Soul Nikita, Soul plus 1 or more, plus 5k or plus shield plus 5k, Soul plus 3 or more, draw card. Very good against, like, if you want the defensives. 3 copies of Meglit Symbol Freya. Freya is another part of the superior right turbo engine in this deck, because when you're grade 0, you put this in your soul, discard a card, grab your grade 1 Riviere, which we run 1 copy of the main superior right target, Mermaid Idol Riviere in the original, and then we run 3 copies of it in V version. Why we run 3 copies in V is because we don't have like Selena in our hand. We want to search out like a grade 2, for example, or a grade 3, and also draws us a card. 4 copies of Mermaid Idol Ellie, something all Bermuda decks should run. Ellie is an amazing card because it gives you both offensive pressure and defensive pressure. Especially since, and it's also like sensitive to the bottom of the deck when you card with a card pair. Finally, my hot tip, since most people are playing multi-attacks, I run 1 copy of Light Elemental Honolulu. If you have a face-up damage when you play, counter blast 1, and every rear attack of 5th battle or more cannot attack unless you pay counter plus 1, so this stops Nightmare Dolls, Grand Blue, etc. because they would have to counter blast for skills. Trigger lineup, I run a 2-2 lineup of heals. I find this works better because just in case Hope on Dam comes out to play, you can use this just to guard 1. And the heal guardians are good for like early defense. 1 over trigger, specifically the lyrical monastery ones, since the additional effect is worth it, especially when you're doing a Megiddo turn. 3 copies of Aqualite Ardol are move to soul plus 10 plus and draw a card crit. 4 copies of our Strike Fodder crit, Rapping Core Shruti. 4 copies of Lenny the Perfect Guard. Might be wondering why the draw sign and why not like Christine or like Top Eye, Transcendence Idol Aqua. Find that the Perfect Guard with like the draw triggers works better in this deck because you want to just like keep drawing, you don't want to have bricks in your hand. Finally, starter, bring me Triangle Cadet Riviere. If a non-Riviere writes on top of her, move her to Forerunner. Otherwise, if a Mermaid if Mermaid Idol or Riviere right on top of it, top 7, grab Super Idol or Top Idol from your hand, and yeah. So we're gonna move on to our G zone. This may be a bit faster, but it's mostly just to show off the deck and how I did in the placements with this. We run 3 copies of Chocho popular favorite, Tirua. She is your usual first ride unless you have the cost to go into your progenitor. But her effect is flip 1. Every Chocho in your front row gets the ability to get plus 5 down power for each of her open river circles. It's just gonna be Tirua that's gonna gain the power, but you can get to like 60, 70k down, 70k on just her swing alone. 2 copies of Perfect Performance, and you really don't see the point of using her unless you're going against Lock. Yeah, that's the only point I see in playing Anj is if you have stuff that you know is locked, or you know your opponent has like really low resource in their hand, like you go into Anj, but otherwise Anj is just used for flip fodder at that point. Same with Courtois Olivia, like she's good, but like it's mostly here for flip fodder. Olivia is probably much better. It's probably not the one I would flip, but she's good in certain circumstances. We run the GB8 because we turbo trade this deck pretty fast, so it's better if we run the GB8 so that way we have an option to go into. GB8 named Mephisto Finale Final Priscilla. We run the main card of this deck. Progenitor Dragon of DC's Ballerina. Ballerina is a very nutty card because if your opponent's Guardian is placed from like hand or G zone, you just discard a card to just destroy the Guardian, which is always very good because your opponent has to use more cards in hand. It doesn't stop Sentinels, it doesn't stop Intercept. Megiddo. Now Megiddo is here just in case I can rush them to death, but otherwise I don't see the point of using Megiddo. You can run like Shandi instead of Megiddo, but Megiddo's just there for flex. G-Guards, 2 plus Sparkle Sandies, depending on how many cards in your hand, she gets plus 5k shield for each 2 cards in your hand. Countless 1 for another 5k shield, like she's one of the best G-Guardians. 2 copies of Hand-in-Hand Leona. Choose a rear guard to bounce your hand and call 1 to Guardian Circle. I don't see the point of using her as a G-Guard most often unless like it's just a normal block. So usually I'll just use her with Sandy. House Society Citron, superior call a card from hand for shield plus 10. The only time you're going to be using Citron is to superior call Honolly. So if you have a Honolly, you're always going to Citron up the Honolly during battle phase. And finally, 1 copy of Dark Element Dismal. Dismal is your Honolly. It's mainly used to protect your Honolly. So, our team number, which was 12, we placed top 4 in the tournament. So I'll player B. We played first round. I played against Blasters, which I actually feel sorry for that player because Ballerina just carried me the whole game, and they couldn't do anything. Yes, but we faced against Ezo Senpai's team, and if you don't know who Ezo Senpai is, he's a very good Gold Paladin Ezo player. That also does streams and covered like the top 8 standings for all the events. So yeah, round 2, I forget who I faced, but it was either Shiryuki or another. I think it was Shiryuki. I don't remember exactly all the full details, but essentially they just couldn't do anything to my rush and they just died. Round 3, I believe I faced Chronojet Time Leap, and that deck was interesting to say the least. Takeaway Dragon was really the ace of that deck for sure. Then we go on to round 4, which was against Narukami, which I lost. Narukami just kills this deck completely. Yeah, it was really bad. I think another deck I lost to, I think it was in round 5. I don't remember exactly which rounds I won or lost, but I played against Night Rose, and that deck that deck just killed me. Round 6 I faced against Regalia. I won barely, but only won because my opponent bricked. This secured us a spot in top 8. We were 7th in total, so we went to top 8 where I faced against Daihos and Dominate. And fun fact, the MVP of both the game against Dominate and Shiryuki was Immaculate Symbol Freya because of her resist ability. So we won top 8 and we moved to round 4, top 4, where I faced against DOTX, and that deck I lost against. Well, I mean, like, I just misplayed. I should not have discarded my Great Dread or my ability to stride with my perfect art, but that was my mistake. I could have won the next turn. Oh well, it was fine. Then third place placement, I played against the rematch against Regalia, and I could not do anything. I just bricked the whole game. But that's it for this deck profile. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.